Look at that. Wow, you can see my face. You can see my face right on the screen. This is the workshop, everybody. This is the comedy workshop number 400. I'm Keller Reeves.
Number
and welcome
400.
400.
we're gonna have some fun.
Woo!
That's a fact. 100% fact. We're
400.
having fun tonight. You know, if you haven't heard of the watch
400.
before, if you're just starting to watch, whatever it is, what it basically is a bunch of comedians. We get random topics. We try to write 3 to 5 minutes on that random topic, try to perform it for each other. And after we're done, we give critiques. We, give tags, jokes, whatever works out, try to make it better. And it's a good little fun community sort of thing, right? So, it's a great little thing. Let's talk about our comics first. Elner, we know each other. How's it going, buddy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Almost done with the pandemic. Almost, maybe. I don't know.
So, we're done. No more masks, man. I don't have to wear a mask anymore.
What? No, we still have to do it indoors.
Yeah, we just got it first, so yeah. We don't have to, but it's suggested you do it. So it's one of those things, right? Yeah. Remind everybody where you're from, if you don't mind.
I'm in Toronto, Ontario, where the masks are still happening and travel is not.
Travel's nil. Yeah.
No shows yet. Hopefully, once stuff opens, we can do indoor shows. Maybe, hopefully.
Andy, how's it going?
Hey, man. 400. I can't believe it.
Yeah, 400. It's a milestone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. I don't know how long I've been doing this for now. I've been doing it at least since I think I've been doing Monday nights since at least October, something like that, every Monday. So it's been pretty long. I kind of lost count now. Tell me where you're from, Andy. I know I've seen you online, but I don't think I've been on a show with you yet.
Seattle, Washington.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Is that where you're from?
Yep.
Nice. What school did you go to?
I went to Peninsula Gig Harbor out here. So I went to college down in San Jose.
Nice. Yeah. My dad went to Franklin.
Yeah, we used to beat them a little bit.
Nobody likes to talk about them. Yeah. No, that's where my family's from, is right near Franklin. So
yeah.
But yeah, if you guys don't know who I am, again, I'm Keller Reeves. I'm out of Chilliwack, British Columbia, beautiful Chilliwack, which is about like an hour out of Vancouver. It's basically where it is. So, the good thing about this format is that I'm going to go first, everybody. How's that sound?
There we go.
Wait, we got some people watching. Look at this. We got Jim Music.
Hello, Jim.
Look at that. Thank you for attending again, Jim. We have KD, also comedian of the workshop. Happy you. It is 400. That is a milestone. That is awesome for us. I should say before we start is that this is a comedy safe space. So that means it's safe for us, the comedians, and not for you, the audience. You just got to deal with it. So, it's just a fun little thing. So, yeah, we're all mean to have fun here. We're mean to make jokes. We're mean to make you laugh. That's the whole intent. We're not here to, be assholes. But sometimes it comes across that way because we are. Anyway, so listen, how about we get going right away? I think 3 minutes in, we don't have to keep talking, right down there?
Let's do it. You want me to introduce you? You want to start off? Let's do it. Get ready, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, for Keller Reeves.
Hey.
The fan favorite with Bigfoot and people alike, Keller Reeves.
Hey, round of applause for me when I come on. Yes. Okay, my topic. And I swear these keep getting harder and harder. We used to get one word all the time, just like some simple word. Now we're getting things like my topic's YouTube comments. Okay, YouTube comments. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny too. Since I've never really read any YouTube comments, so, but I never have. So it's like, but research is research. So here you go, everybody. Okay, and here I'll start off by reading my own comments from other people on my videos, my YouTube channel. Okay, here's the comments. You ready for this, Elner? Okay. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ha 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 ha. You're hilarious. You're so funny. This is the best. You're my mom's favorite local freak comedian. I like that one. That was funny to me. Who dis? Oh, look, curveball in there. Wow. Off speed pitch. This is great. Oh my God. I love you. Let me have your babies. Seriously. Let's have one. Pretty much every time we copulate, I want to get you pregnant. Or once you get me, I say screw that, Brody, but it doesn't matter. Why won't you answer this? It pretty much goes on and on like this, and gets to be steeper and steeper. And that's pretty much a poem I wanted to write for you guys. First written and first performed by Brittany Shakespeare's, thank you. That's so dumb. There's no comments on my videos. I got no comments. I never really post anything on there, so my comments are nothing. I had to make that up to make myself feel better. But what I did do is I did look up other people's comments. So a fan favorite on the workshop, Ryan Sims. He has no YouTube comments, but lots of YouTube videos. That's sad, Dan Brennan, famous Dan Brennan. Not a lot of comments on his. He had one comment on his, which was just simply, wow. No, there's no exclamation mark, no period, no question mark, no way to really how to read that. Just simply, wow. And I watched his video that I was connected to, and I realized that that wow is exactly the way my daughter says to me when she's unimpressed. It's pretty much, wow. That's pretty much the wow he got. Okay. I like my daughter. Just a side note, my daughter keeps doing can you not all the time to me, like, can you not? And I just start laughing, so I just repeat it back to her, can you not? And then she gets really mad. It's back and forth. Okay, here's another YouTube comment I looked up. Elners, I looked up your YouTube comments, buddy. I think you're using a fake name right now. That's what I think. You have
most likely
no handprint, no nothing. I couldn't find anything for you. I found some kind of podcast with you on it. I think it had your name, but I was not willing to listen to it, so I'm not sure. Okay, Andy, no footprints for you, buddy. You have 2 videos, I think, if it's you. Tilligas, Andrew. I looked up Andrew Tilligas, and that's you. I don't think it's you because he's a musician, and all
that's not me.
pretty much. I'll just ask him about his hair products. That's pretty much what it is. All those comics. Okay.
Yeah.
I looked up Brandon Valentine, and he's nothing also. I can't find him. Jerry Miner, who's supposed to be on this show, Trombone 77, really likes you, buddy. Just Trombone 77's all over you. Okay, well, I didn't time myself. I did put some effort, a little bit into this. I tried to be a different and original. So that's my time, people. Thank you so much. Yes. Let's welcome Brandon right now. Here we go. Mr.
Hey,
B.
Brandon.
What's going on, man? 666.
Hey, sorry about that.
No worries.
How are you?
My stuff. It's okay. That wasn't impressive. What do you think, Elner? What do you think about all that?
I like the comments parts. I wanted you to include the following, okay? My opinion, and this is my point, right? Every time somebody, like a YouTube commenter, makes a nasty comment, 99% of the time they have a typo. Like, I would say 100, like all the time. You had the ha 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 ha. There's also the international ja 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 or yeah, like J A J A J. Yeah, you can add that in. On that, when you're talking about your daughter, I wanted for you to give an examples of like what else she's not impressed by, like I don't know, her food, her whatever. I think that's a good avenue to kind of have a couple more tags in there. And the podcast, I don't leave YouTube comments at all. The podcast is actually Nick McWick and Aaron Maslow's old podcast, the Quick and Slow Show. It's Nick and Scott Porteous, myself, and a couple of other people.
Oh, really?
Old as fuck, yeah. But there are some. Let's just say, if you hear it, you look at me with a completely different light.
Maybe I'll give it a listen one day. Yeah. Here's a guy. Jim wants to put in some things like input here. I love that someone wants to have your baby. What's his name? And Keller, just to reply to your wife's comments already. Yeah, it's true. I should answer that. Just my wife trying to get. That's a good call, Katie. Andy, what do you think?
Well, first of all, we all know that the Mariners can't hit an off-speed pitch. So anybody not in Seattle doesn't get that, but good Lord, that's got 30 years of history to it. I want to have your babies. I don't know how many XYs I need to know to know that equals child support. So I'd be scared to death of that, my friend.
Yeah, that was the intent of me going that way. Then I miswrote something because it's hard because I'm trying to mash everything in when I'm writing it, and I just can't read it again. So I didn't do no form, and I fucked up the joke. But yeah, that's pretty much how I was going. It's going to go a little bit further and take it more ridiculous. Then I fucked it all up. So use my language, people watching.
Their fault.
Cool, but thank you. Sorry, did you have something?
on regards on your notes, I have a terrible handwriting, so I would write my set out word by word like 3 times with like double spaced and stuff like that, just so I don't have to hit that snag. Because if I try to read my own handwriting, it's not gonna work. So
yeah, most of the time for the workshop, I end up doing a little more reading or a little more kind of going to my notes, and I come off try to go back to my notes, and if I don't do like really good note form, which I didn't do this time, I'm just totally lost and just can't find it again. Yeah. Brandon, how are you? You're on mute. I don't like.
You're muted.
Mute. I like to leave my mute for a couple minutes.
Sorry. Yeah. No, my computer's. Yeah. It decided to update earlier, and then when I went to use it, it was just stupid, so I had to restart it again.
Oh yeah. No.
I wish you could shoot it with a shotgun and then revive it. Be like, oh, you want to
I
update?
thought about it.
Yeah, he's from the Tacoma area. If I haven't forgotten.
Yeah, Bonnie Lake, Tacoma. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Man, I'll never remember that. But thanks for coming to the show, Brandon. Late.
Lord God, how many of us are there?
Lots of us.
Tacoma? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, how about this? How about we give myself a round of applause for what I did? Thank you so much.
Woo!
There we go. I liked a lot of we got to do it. So, Brandon, nice to have you again. So, okay. We're going to keep going round and round. So we'll go to Elner, then Andy, then Brandon. We'll go that route. So I got to give intros to everybody. That's the thing, because this asshole Dan Brennan got on to me. And now we have, if you watch Thursday nights, he says stuff about me. I say stuff about him. It's okay, you know. Oh, I forgot a joke. I don't know if I said that. That was the one about Dan Brennan. He was like, his YouTube comments are blank like his face. That's like the one to pick up. But forgot about it if you know Dan Brennan. But that's us throwing against each other bus. I want to explain that before I go on. Okay, listen, this next comedian has traveled. He's a learned man. It doesn't make a lot of sense when he speaks. Please put your hands together for Elner, everybody.
Nice. So my topic for this week was cereal. Back to one word. So I grew up in the Soviet Union. In Mother Russia, you don't eat cereal. Cereal eats you. But obviously that's a joke. There is no cereal. They don't do that for breakfast. Their breakfast is buckwheat. Can you imagine how tasteful that sounds? This is why I skipped breakfast for my entire life, and I'm assuming half the Soviet Union did too, right? Sometimes they would have like a glass of vodka for breakfast, but that would be it. So besides, like, I think cereal is just American propaganda, right? You eat the sugar, you get the toy, right? No matter, like, it's not a surprise that Americans are obese, you know, when they come to adult life. Every day they ate like a pound of sugar and maybe got a toy, maybe not. But it's like it's not their fault. They've been primed to eat this stuff, right? It's kind of horrible. And they also follow it up with like toast and like a glass of orange juice. If you wanted to have that kind of breakfast in the Soviet Union, you'd have to wait in 3 separate lines, one for orange juice, one for bread, and one for your cereal. And those would be the longest lines anyway. So you would have your breakfast at like 8 p.m. at night. That doesn't sound fun. So have you ever thought about why there's so many different flavors of cereal? I'll let you know right now, right? It's a commercial. It's like a walking billboard. You're walking through a 30-foot aisle, and all it says is like Kellogg's, 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 Kellogg's. Yes, it might have like a different little Dracula or some shit on it. But the point is, that's how they get you. You get tired of walking this damn aisle. It's like, well, let me put this thing in there, right? And that's how they get you, right? This is a type of marketing, right? They put a bunch of flavors that nobody likes. This is the same. Smirnoff vodka does the same thing, right? That's why they have like 35 different types of flavors, right? I'm sure there was no person in the history of humankind that woke up, left his house knowing willingly that he's going to go and buy cucumber vodka. No one did this. It's disgusting. So I personally, the first time I ate cereal, I was 20 years old. I was in the army. And basically, they gave us cereal with chocolate milk and only forks to eat it with. So my first experience with cereal was chugging it down with a fork in like 5 minutes. Why? Because, you know, if you got woken up at 4:30 in the morning to run like a 2-kilometer obstacle course, and then they give you food, you don't really ask what kind of food. You don't care. You're drenched. You're done. You're fucking dead. It's like 5:30 in the morning. You just did all this stuff, and you're just willing to take anything, right? They give you 2 options. They give you that, or they give you powdered eggs. So option number one will not agree with your stomach. It'll get your stomach growling, and it'll get your intestine in a bunch. Option number two will make your teammates' nostrils suffer. So if you want to avoid the blanket party later on at night, you're going to go with the cereal. So that's it. That's my time on cereal.
Hey, Elner, everybody. Round of applause for him. What'd you think, Andy?
I got to tell you, first of all, Kevin, is Kevin still booking this? I just did this. Like, I did a whole cereal routine at the Tacoma Comedy Club.
Oh, really? Shit.
Yeah, and so I think he's screwing with me a little bit.
Actually, every week rotate. So Scott will do 1 week, and then Kevin will do another week. So.
Oh, he's the one that booked me for here, so I think he's messing with me a little bit. No, I don't think he knows who I am. But you were in the Russian army. First of all, this guy looks like the mugshot famous dude. Like, do you know him, the mugshot model that came out? And so he's scared to death of me he scared me to death the last time I saw him because he could whoop my ass. So I say everything knowing that. I'm an old army guy. You were in the Russian army?
I was in the Israeli army.
Oh,
but I just didn't get
to it. Dude, I'm an old military intelligence guy, U.S. Army, and you could whoop my ass. So not great on the American side, but I'm with 2 other Seattle guys, so I'm gonna take some strength there. But I always love Elner just because I know he could beat my ass. Well, we gotta talk. Love to chat.
I can't travel over the border right now.
Yeah. So blanket parties, it's nice to know those are universal.
Of course.
The army. Don't they allow them? Do they allow other I guess they would allow other military people in there. That just seems like something they try to keep away for some reason.
Once in a while, yeah, they'll have joint training and stuff like that, and all that kind of shit.
For real army, I was in the fucking strategic. We just hung out, and we were in the it was equivalent to federal prisons and camps. I was in Camp Fort Meade, and so it doesn't really count, but. This is why I've got whatever Elner says, it's perfect for me because I'm scared to death of the lead.
Come on.
Well, Brandon, you're muted again.
I always mute myself because I know there's background noise sometimes. No, I loved it. It was good. I like kind of how you went with the whole, born in Russia, that, the whole image that we've always been given as Americans of Russia, of the standing in line forever for the staple. So you're like, why would I stand in line for cereal to get it at 9 o'clock at night? So that was awesome. I liked how everything you said was funny because it was still relatable to us, even though, I guess I'm not to be selfish, but it's related to everyone because it's what we all picture of that, it's what we were all taught of those areas. So it was good. I liked it.
Cool. All right. Also, I know Andy kind of made a point on this. Is blanket party a thing? Everybody knows what that is?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I didn't know.
Blanket party? What's that mean?
He knows what that is. He's just it's a repressed memory that he's going to need therapy to uncover.
It's when you're in a group and the group wants to punish you for something, but they don't want to take. They just throw a blanket on you and beat the fuck out of you.
It's what they did to Gomer Pyle in Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Was there anything like that in Forrest Gump too?
No, but there's Hacksaw too, or something like that in there. Beat him up. I can't remember. It's been a couple things. I know what you mean.
Wow. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay.
One thing when they were talking too, I didn't realize that because I know you're your background being from Russia and whatnot, but your accent doesn't sound that way. I don't know if you have a joke on some of your sets or something like that where you address your accent not being Russian before you talk about being Russian, because people have such a thick a Russian accent that when you're talking all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, he's Russian? This doesn't make sense, right? And I don't know, maybe something in your bigger sets you might want to talk about, proper.
Okay. Being in the Israeli army, that's a bit of a curveball too. So to go from growing up in Russia to being in the Israeli army, that's so. Yeah.
Actually, I have the perfect thing. But okay, I think that's important because it both things. I explicitly didn't say which army because I was it doesn't really matter. both could have had the issue of giving you like fucked up food with fucked up utensils.
Yeah.
But I have an idea how to do it. I think I'll just make a joke out of that. Cool.
Yeah. Some of your things too on your set there, I liked it. Funny. One thing about you're talking about the buckwheat and whatnot. Then you talked about some stuff. Then you went to talk about vodka in the morning. I instantly went to thought, oh, why not vodka in your buckwheat right away? Like discussions with vodka, and it's like, okay, yeah. Sometimes I put vodka in it, you know. Also, you start talking about the Smirnoffs. You actually could have came back to it just to change the taste of your buckwheat. Basically, you could have
nice.
it that way a bit. So I mean, but yeah,
Yeah.
Nice.
that was good. So yeah, let's give another round of applause for Elner, everybody. Yay! Okay, Andy, you ready?
Yeah, the word was inevitable. Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. These states rank as the least populated vaccinated states in America, all with 35% less of their populated vaccinated areas. You can argue that there's some natural selection going on here. All 4 states rank near the bottom when you look at their public education systems also. Knowing that some populations are dumber than others, one must still note that it appears that it's becoming inevitable that Americans get dumber as they become more reliant on technology. Don't believe me? What's your phone number? I don't know mine, and I don't know if I know how to retrieve it. I don't have a lot of friends. I get thrown in jail. My one call, it's useless. How do you dial, Mom? Bill Gates and spell check has become the norm. I can't spell worse shit. Couldn't spell anyway. Want to highlight how bad this problem's getting? Try writing for 30 minutes every day. You realize how stupid you really are. Inevitable. The only thing inevitable in life, death and taxes, right? We've all heard this. At least it's easy to understand taxes, right? Charles Redding, the commissioner of the IRS, wrote in an IRS memo, failure to comply with tax law often involves unintentional mistakes that are the result of not fully understanding what has come to be extremely complex tax code. My tax return got held up this year. I called the IRS. That's fun. You just can't call the IRS. I had to look up how to get a live IRS person on the phone. It's like the Da Vinci Code puzzle. You have to hit 2 on menu 1, and then you hit 3 on menu 2. Don't answer the third menu, though. You have to let that go through twice. Then you hit 7, 12, 4, 2, 8, 3, 1. You leave an outgoing message, agree to take a survey, and then you get to speak to a live person. My live person asked me what I put in box 30 on my 1040. I told her I really wasn't good at math and that number scared me a little bit. I don't know what I put in box 30. I don't know anything in box 30. Didn't know that there was a box 30. It's inevitable that Americans get dumber as we become more reliant on technology. H&R Block, that's the tax software that filled out my box 30. I didn't know there was a box 30. What made things worse, I didn't know how to get back into the H&R Block software to look at box 30, and I didn't know how to hook up my printer to print out the taxes so that I could get away from the damn software and just find the number on the paper. It's right there. Turns out the value I had in box 30 was right. My return was auto flagged, though. The IRS flagged returns with a COVID rebate when your income was over a certain level. I was still entitled to receive how much money? I don't know. I don't know because I don't understand. That's why I pay my $50 to H&R Block every year. Taxes are inevitable. The IRS code, though, it's hard. Today in the news, President Biden wanted to beef up the IRS so they can aggressively go after those behind on their taxes. I'm sorry, the IRS isn't known for being aggressive. They've been nice before. Oh, I'm sorry, those little debt garnishments, those are more suggestions, right? Those are just, they're friendly, just saying, hey, we're going to take all your fucking money. So all of us, or a lot of us, so the IRS is going to aggressively go after taxes on what, all of us, especially right now with COVID. The restrictions just ended last week, right? I was immediately contacted by the county and my insurance and my homeowner's insurance because everybody who didn't get paid for the last year, guess what? They all want their fucking money now, right? And so everybody is going through the same damn thing right now. And no matter what anybody has to say, people are going after taxes. They're going after money, and everybody's going to be in trouble, and we're all going to have to pay it because taxes are inevitable unless you make a lot of money. And then apparently you don't have to pay any taxes. Trump. The American people, they're becoming frustrated, right? 11 militia members were arrested in Massachusetts after a standoff with police, which involved multiple weapons. Wait a minute, though. I'm in the Northwest. We control militias and fucking anti-government movements so up here, don't we? And Elner, for you, Oregon, Idaho, we're all fucking crazy up here. That frustration, some inevitable due to the dumbing down American culture as it becomes more reliant on technology. America, a nation now struggling to find qualified leaders, elect one celebrity, they all want to run. The Rock considered to run for president this last presidential season. I'm not sure how successful he would have been, though. If you take a look at Fast and Furious 9, he couldn't negotiate like a truce with Vin Diesel, and he was just booted off the movie. They replaced him with John Cena. Guess what? Movie still sucks. And The Rock's movie that's currently out right now, that still sucks too. But don't worry, Matthew McConaughey, he is saying that he might run for governor in Texas right now. And he just made news because, you know what? Everything, I'm thinking about running for office right now. And you got to admit, America was it's like a pre-puberty phase right now. But don't worry, they're going to grow out of it. They're going to get better looking. It's going to be all right, all right, all right. Matthew McConaughey, he actually does have a degree. It's in film, though, Matthew McConaughey. And you know what? Some of us don't get better looking out of puberty. I looked way worse than this before I went into puberty. Then I gained 60 pounds. Then I lost my fucking hair. Fuck you, Matthew McConaughey. The only thing more confusing than Matthew McConaughey, Mark Zuckerberg was in the news yesterday. He made news fucking hoverboarding, water skiing to the American flag, like holding it up in the background with John Denver's Country Road playing in the background. I've seen Social Network. He's lived on both coasts. Dude doesn't know a fucking thing about what it's like to really live in the country of America right now. So Mark Zuckerberg, not really working for you either. All right, you want to believe that technology is giving us an advantage. I don't know. I wrote that. I just wrote this. Okay. At the end of the day, though, Kim Kardashian, right? So we live in a country where we're becoming dumbed down by American society. There's Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian recently in the news. First of all, please, God, if anything can happen, just let the Kardashians go away. They're canceling the return of the Kardashians. Still not going away. Kim Kardashian just in the news because she's hawking Ethermax. What's Ethermax? I don't really fucking know. It's cryptocurrency. It's cryptocurrency, Kim. It's not a credit card. So Bitcoin, that's the cryptocurrency that's really in vogue. Doesn't matter. Kim Kardashian, somebody known for who she fucks, Ray J and Kanye, more than who she fucks over. She's the one that we're starting to get advice for. And we're supposed to buy that now. And you know what? There's going to be a lot of people who buy it just because Kim Kardashian told them to. So fuck you, Kim Kardashian. And you're going to be hurting a lot of American people. So, but if you don't buy her stuff, you know what? I've got this pillow that I want to sell you, right? It's sold by a crack addict, but that's okay because if there's a pillow out there that exists that can give a crack addict rest, must be good. It's your pillow, it's my pillow, and it can be yours for just one fee of $19.99. Thank you guys. That's my time.
Yay! That was a lot of information, I'll tell you that. Wow. I like how you answered your own question. That was pretty good. Every time you go through something like you're so much as you wrote I thought I first wrote down you wrote 4 times the amount as me, and I think you may have wrote 6 or 8 times the more amount than I did. It was very Colbert-esque, like Colbert-esque. So you had it going like that. So it was pretty good. It was great. I wish I had more tags and everything for you, but you're pretty tight on that thing. It was pretty good to listen to. I enjoyed it. So good job. Yeah. Brandon, what do you think?
I enjoyed it. It reminded me of kind of like Dennis Leary-esque. Back when he actually had wrote content. rather than just yelled at the screen. So it was very. When you listen to it, it sounds rambly in a sense, but then at the same time, that's part of the comedy. That's part of what made it good, was the fact that you kept hitting one thing right after another, and it just like, almost didn't give you enough time to. Once you were catching on to one thing that you said, you were saying something else. So it was just kind of, it just kept hitting, and it was good. I liked it. I really liked your delivery.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
I would say you did have a lot of stuff, and I know you tried to put it in the 5 minutes. You kind of like were rushing through it. So the rushing made two things happen. So one thing, it kind of took off of your tempo. At least at the beginning, you were kind of pretty monotone. Later on, you started doing pauses and kind of trying to emphasize or take off, make a flow of it, and try to do that. Try to see if there are things like I would go over it a couple of times more and see like literally like word by word if you can take off some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because over time, because you know where the jokes are, you know where the points are. You can take off the stuff that you don't need to hit for the smack, for the punch. So it will cut down your time. It will give you more time to play with tempo, and it will give you more time to kind of like, come in, like bring us in and then punch us in the face. Bring us in and punch us in the face, basically. Yeah.
Here's a comment from Jim Music. I always get someone at the IRS by dialing 666. So. Good joke.
Oh, hold on. I also had a bunch of tags I forgot. Right. Yeah. I wanted to hear more about natural selection. Like, give me examples. Like, whatever. You didn't fill up your whatever. You didn't study your what? You like the dodo. You like the this. You like the whatever.
I was just saying that people from Louisiana and Alabama are stupid, and so they're naturally dying off with COVID.
No, I get that, but give me like a couple, because that's a premise. You can put a couple more tags on.
Oh yeah.
The fucking Tyrannosaurus didn't have fucked up arms. You could have studied more.
Yeah, add an extra joke. Yep.
Yeah. A Da Vinci Code puzzle. When you were talking about that, you can also say like that you don't know which boxes to put. It sounded to me like a video game.
Yeah.
So you'd have like a cheat code for the IRS, and you'd be like button mashing, like a fatality and stuff like that. You just put a bunch of stuff like that. The other tag, you got to it eventually, the Trump paying no taxes and stuff like that. But it's not just Trump paying no taxes. It's also like Bezos and Apple and Elon Musk and all those guys.
Yeah, I added a lot more 50-50 on the Republicans and the Democrat jokes. And right now I'm scared to do the Republican stuff. And so I just heavy put it on Trump and all that.
That's all good. I wanted you to go with Matthew McConaughey and tell him like, well, stay the fuck away from what you want to do. Just go do the next F10.
Yeah.
Play somebody else and just fuck off.
Oh, get
and what else I had? You and your fucking wig.
Yeah.
He probably has a wig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's everything I had.
One thing about, I actually forgot to say, and Jim reminded me here, and I'll post his in a second. He has 2 more comments, but your crack addict jokes towards the end was pretty funny. It's we're talking about the Kardashians and going on about that. The one thing that made me think of, like, I can't remember, you listed it off. You listed a couple things off, like the crack addict, and you listed a couple things, and you could have said your brother-in-law. I just thought it was like really easy to throw that in a quick go.
Combine the Kardashians and the My Pillow dude. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and that's what I thought you were actually doing. I'm sorry, but he wrote down some things here. U.S. Olympians will be wearing uniforms by Kim Kardashian soon. Kim is always breaking barriers. Have you ever seen an Olympic uniform designed by a billionaire porn star? Yeah. That's pretty much it. So, yeah. Okay, well, another round of applause for Andy, everybody. Way to go.
Oh, cool. Good job.
Hey, Brandon, you ready?
Yep.
I got to give you an intro, though, okay?
All right.
Keep me on this. He took my possibilities, my chance to make him into a star. Okay, listen, I'm going to make this next person a star. He's the greatest comedian that's ever walked this earth. Put your hands together for Brandon Valentine, everybody.
How are we doing? So my word is family reunions. So family reunions are scary for me. I'm the youngest of 6 kids. And my family, the only thing they're good at is fucking and procreating. My family reunions, there's more people there than there was at a Mariner game before pre-COVID. I mean, it's too many people. The other thing that's horrible is being the youngest of 6 kids. My oldest brother was a senior in high school when I was born. So I have nieces that were put up for adoption that are older than me. So sometimes, you go to date a girl, she's like, I'm adopted. You're like, ooh, can you be the creepy uncle if you didn't know you're the uncle? I just don't know about that. So, but yeah, so family reunions, they're weird. I mean, you go to the family reunions, you see all these people that you don't want to see. I mean, it's like a high school reunion. I didn't want to see you in high school. The same thing with my family. I didn't want to see you when I was a kid. The first thing I wanted to do was get away from you all. Now, all of a sudden, you want me to come back and see you? You live less than 10 miles away from me. I go see you maybe at Christmas. Why do I want to waste my weekend to go see you on a family reunion? I don't like you to begin with. Most of my family, and I mean, my family's white. I mean, like really white. I did my ancestry.com and it came back and said white, white, white. And we're going to throw a little French in because we couldn't get color. So we're going to go for smell. So, I mean, it's just, there's nothing but, white in there. And I mean, it's horrible. So, I mean, my family reunion, it's like, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's kind of like, I mean, it's whiter than a KKK rally. I mean, it's horrible. So I just don't like them. I don't like going to the family reunions. Like I said, I'm the youngest of 6 kids. I've got a few of my own. I don't even want to see my own kids, let alone my brothers and sisters. I mean, it's horrible. Cousins, I mean, every family reunion, there's someone there that I've never met before, and they're all talking to me. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Why are you here? Oh, that's your cousin. From where? And half my family's from West Virginia. I mean, my family, it's so bad. My mom met her brother for the first time at my grandfather's funeral. Literally at the funeral. Who are you? I'm his son. Oh, well, then I guess we're brother and sister. I mean, that's how big my family is. My mom didn't even know her own brother until she met him at my grandfather's funeral. I mean, it's just family reunions are stupid. So that's really all I got.
Hey, applause for that. Way to go. Elner, would you like to start this time?
Yes, I liked everything. It was tight. You let stuff breathe and stuff like that too. I really like the color and smell joke about the French. That was
See, my wife
really
didn't get it. I'm like everybody else will.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I had something here about because they're older, like the technically your aunts or nieces are older than you. So are you the creepy uncle? Are they the creepy uncle?
I don't know. It's like I said. Can you be the creepy uncle if you don't know you're the uncle? So
Yeah. It's your stuff makes more sense than what I had. I don't exactly know what I wrote down here. Basically, yeah. And then the KKK rally thing here. It's kind of it was there.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, but it was still good.
Yeah. I thought about not doing it, but I'm like, no. It's low hanging fruit, but I kind of had to go for it.
Yeah.
Actually, Katie, to jump in, also said the same thing. I'm sorry it took so long to figure out, but those were KKK rallies.
Probably. My family's from West Virginia. It's probably true.
Oh, you can have something like that where they're in the same place and you're like, do I go to this one? Do I go to this one? And kind of like,
yeah.
I went to the wrong one, obviously.
Yeah. It's probably still all the same family.
Yeah.
West Virginia's got like 3 families, and that's it. They're just, yeah.
Here's one from Jim here. Meeting your brother at a funeral is better than meeting him at the morning after a Christmas party. That's pretty funny.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a good little line there. So, yeah. Andy, what'd you think?
Okay, so Brandon is from about 10 miles from me. So you're Bonnie Lake up in Milton. So I'm about 10 miles up the road. West Virginia, Bonnie Lake, inbred. They seem like right there. And so I don't know how we explain that outside of this. But the KKK rallies, the creepy uncle, all of that, they kind of go along with that humor. Man, you got... I wrote down the smell joke also, the color in the smell joke. I wouldn't have done the KKK thing, probably just because all of your other stuff was really so witty. Like I have to take low-hanging fruit jokes because I suck. You are way better. Like your stuff. It seems like you were nervous to do it because you're like because it's kind of low-hanging fruit, and the rest of your stuff, like the color smell joke, was really good. The not to say the other one, but family reunion for anybody who doesn't know, watch the movie Black Sheep. That is basically Bonnie Lake, and so the family reunion, West Virginia. I sleep with my brother's cousin. It's all the same fucking deal. The Mariners never hit before COVID. Never had any fans before COVID. So that's the one thing that you said that only Keller and I would know.
Oh, yeah.
That no one was there before. Like,
I knew that was a regional joke that you'd only really get that the Mariners have like 12 fans. I mean.
I used to be one of the people that would chase the naked people that ran on the field, and for no fans going, and normally a large amount of naked guys that would run on the field. So
they were just people looking for dates. They just wanted it that day.
I think it's the Bonnie Lake thing, and I think we're all related in this area. But fantastic job.
Thank you.
I only go to the Mariners games for the hot dogs, just so you guys know. That's
I go for the Irish seafood.
Yeah. No, it's I think it was all pretty funny. I mean, it was all great. You had a really good set. Everybody else really said a lot more than I could say, but I love the nieces joke. I'm from big family. I totally understand when you have a lot of kids, you start swelling. My uncle's like 1 year younger than my cousin. So it's like just because we have so many, family members. It's like I'm one of 10 kids, so I got like my immediate family as a kid was like 104. I remember it's like when I was
Holy shit.
can't even keep track or anything like that. But yeah, so I related with everything you said. Did you say on the one thing with the French, when you said a little French in there, do you say a little bit of smelt in there, or do you say smelled bad? Like I was thinking
smell.
Yes,
Smell. I'm saying the French steak. That's what I'm. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was right in there. Like just.
I could smell the cheese in that joke.
Yeah.
It was deeper because the smelt. There's a lot of smelt coming out. They find in cave sites and whatnot, digging from France. It just, I don't know why. It kind of made that's for another subject, everybody, not to joke around. Yeah. But, it was a great job. So let's give another round of applause for Brandon Valentine, everybody. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's put on a look. Scott Porteous' message. I wanted to leave that till the halftime portion. Happy 400th, everybody. That is the 400th episode.
Happy 400.
Cool. So thank you guys for watching. Everything else, we still got more. Don't hang up. Don't leave. Don't turn this off. This is the portion of the show we get to do our own material. And so this will be fun. This is stuff we actually do want. So I get to go first. We're going the same way. How's that sound, everybody?
That's good.
I'm gonna get my own intro. It wasn't enough for me last time. So
okay.
Ian is probably the most your grandma's favorite comedian. That's what I would say. He's your grandma's favorite free comedian. I said that earlier, and I think I'm gonna keep using that. It's please put your hands together for me, Keller Reeves. How's that going? Cool. Okay. Some new stuff. Okay. I am going to reveal, if you haven't noticed, I do have a COVID skullet. That's what I've been working on. You guys know what skullet is? It's like a mullet, but a little less hair on the top, And I've been working at it. But my mullet, you see my long things, it's been going pretty good. Or as I like to call it, like a failed internet business in the front and a kid's birthday party in the back. That's what I like to think of it as. So kind of, but that's the way it works. Lots of balloons. That's what I imagine this mullet with. But hey, I have a thing with my kid. I have a 23-year-old kid. So when I was 22, I had a kid. So I'm in mid-age, and it's an interesting thing because I couldn't relate. I related well with him as a kid because I was a kid. Then later, when I was hitting my 30, I couldn't relate with him anymore. He was a teenager. But now we've bonded, and it's all about weed. We've bonded on weed, actually. We smoke in our garage together. We always joke around together. We have a lot of fun. And I like to treat him like how he used to scare me a lot, those DARE programs. Do you have DARE programs down in the States?
Yeah.
So he was in the DARE program when I was younger, and it was like always worried me because I was like, oh, that's that little bastard going to wrap me up. So now I treat him just like the DARE programs. He come in stairs. I'm always like grilling him, like, are you on drugs? Tell me right now if you're on drugs. Tell me right now. And I know he's on drugs, but I like to confront him, just like the commercials. Like, who taught you how to deal with this? Who did this? And not one time has he ever said, I learned it from you, Dad. Like the most famous DARE commercial from around here. I'm just waiting for that moment for him to clue in and just say it back to me. I was like, yeah, mission accomplished. That's all that one. But yeah. I didn't start smoking weed till my 30s. That's the truth. I was pretty athletic and health conscious. And in my 30s, I started, it coincidentally started gaining weight, actually, when I think about it deeper. But that's the same thing. But I started when I was 30, and I just remember the first time I smoked weed. I remember just going through my house. It really depressed me. I really felt bad about myself, and I just started just really I got really sad, and my thought was right away was like, man, you've like wasted like half your life not smoking weed. That's you could have been the whole time, Keller. You could have been a happier person, and that's what weed's made me, and a much happier person. So a friend of mine told me the secret of retirement. He just retired. It was pretty funny, and that's a pound of Afghani hash, everybody. That's what it is. That's a secret of retirement. I'm like, oh, that's easy. I got to put into that. That's the best retirement scene yet. Just Anyways, yeah. Here's a joke I'm working. It's you Americans don't know the show, and Eleanor I'm not sure, but there's a this kid show that's famous here called Pingu. It's this claymation penguin that hangs out in Sweden or Switzerland, wherever it's from, and he doesn't speak English, of course. He doesn't even speak Swedish. He just does a lot of newt all the time, like newt. That's what he always does. He communicates. And my favorite way he communicates, because it's such a kind of darling thing. Like usually they're like, it's all kid show, right? So they're sliding down on their bellies, having fun together. Like him and his sister Pinga, and his best friend Robbie the seal, and they're just having fun going down, and they're building igloos and all the thing. But when they get frustrated at each other, it's my favorite way to cope with things. I've started doing this in real life. Like if my boss has really gotten mad at me, like I just do what Pingu does. I look him in the face, just go, and then slap him with a fish. That's what I like to do. Just end that sort of thing. It hasn't worked yet once, but I got dreams. I got dreams about Pingu. Yeah. You guys were talking about before. I was like, someone was talking about, but I'm not very good. Andy, you were talking about. I'm a terrible speller myself. But my wife is smarter than me. That's the thing that I found out, that she's smarter than me. Like she's always using like words I don't understand all the time, and always like trying to figure it out. But I'm not dumb, but I'm like dumb enough to not let on that I don't know what this word means. Kind of teetering that line until I get asked. I'm always like, I can't help it because I'm stoned all the time, so I just blurt out stuff all the time. It's it's like she was like started talking about pseudonym and going. I was like, I don't know what that means. She goes, you know what that means? Like, that's how a person with a cleft palate pronounced cinnamon. So it's and that's not what it means. She's like, no, it's exactly what it is. It's like a pen name. She says it's like a gamer tag, or like an alias, or like a nickname. I'm like, oh, I know what that means. I know what that means. And and I don't know where I was going to go with that joke, but I try to change that up a bit because I don't like how short it is. So, anyways, I think it's my time. I don't think I'm going to save any more of this. Okay, get back to the room. So, thank you very much, everybody.
Great.
I did some things differently there. So, what do you think, Andy? Let's go. What do you think?
Okay, me first. First of all, some things to introduce you. Just a big, giant, cuddly teddy bear, everybody. COVID be damned, you just want to hug them, everybody. Surprise, someone from Canada has a mullet, everybody. Dude, you are the most hyper pothead I've ever fucking seen. So I love I love the energy. So you and I do very similar material. So I gotta kind of stay away from it, but my shit's all about kind of getting down there and basically playing with your kids and relating with your kids also. And so out of maybe everybody I've run across, since I've been doing this, you remind me more of me than anybody else. So outside of the fact that you can grow a mullet, I can't grow any fucking hair. So I hate you for that, but I love you for everything that you do. So
grow skullet. Don't worry. You get the sides and back. That's what I'm starting to. I think I'm going to recruit you guys, you and Elner. Let's grow skullets together, buddies. Come on.
I'm down.
Pretty much. That's what we'll do. So yeah, thanks, Andy.
I'll grow one half, he'll grow one half, and together we might have a skull.
Yeah.
Have the bottom half. That's what I want. So he can have the horseshoe. Brandon, what do you think?
No, I like that. I like the idea of the connecting with your son and all, or your child and all that. That was pretty good. That's always an interesting one. Once your kids get to a certain age where they stop, it's like they stop being your kids, but now you can kind of do all the stuff that you told them not to do for years. And that's kind of what I like about that, is just that you kind of really relate to that, where a lot of parents, don't really think about that you do hit a point where it's like, hey, wait, all this stuff I told you not to do, you want to go smoke pot? I mean, I just kind of, yeah.
I should really explain that whole thing, because it was all going off the top of my head, most of it, but it was like, I should have explained that I was like the black sheep of the family. I was the one that didn't smoke pot. Everybody else in my family did smoke. My parents are hippies. all my brothers, sisters smoke. I was the one that didn't do it until later in life. So yeah, yeah, it reminded me of that just now.
Yeah.
Starting to remember.
No, I liked it.
Thank you. Eleanor, what'd you think, buddy?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I also liked the part where you kind of paused and then said, "I wasted half my life not smoking weed."
Yeah, you set that up
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, that was really, really good in terms of like timing and stuff. The Pingu, you mentioned that he had, I don't know what the show is, but just from your explanation, I like the fact that you kind of explained it. His best friend is a seal.
Yeah, Robbie.
Don't seal eat penguins?
Maybe.
I think because
That's
that was
fucked
too
up.
easy.
That's messed up.
That's what I'm thinking. I think that's if
Yeah.
that's right. I can't remember exactly because I'm not like a super marine person.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look that up. That'd be funny.
But yeah,
Cool. Oh, well, thank
that's
you.
it.
Change some of the things around that I've been doing and see if they fit other spots. It didn't really. Some work, some don't. But yeah. So another round of applause for me, everybody. Thank you so much.
Woo!
Keep it moving. I think we should. This is approaching an hour, and we all got bedtime. So this next comedian again is the most ethnic comedian on this stage tonight. Please put him together for Eleanor, everybody.
Cool. So when this last pandemic started, as if there was another one that we wanted to hear about, I made a bunch of panic buys, right? I bought a pandemic motorcycle, like an end of the world type, Mad Max type motorcycle. I bought a bow and arrow because, guns need permits and the government offices were closed. So next best option was to pay Jeff Bezos some money and hope my arrows showed up. Eventually they did though, but I just hate being the person that, along with the crowd gives Bezos money, and I'm partly responsible for his trip now to space. This douchebag wants to go to space with his brother, right? I heard the return capsule is going to be an Amazon cardboard package. That's what they're going to try to re-enter orbit back in. Hopefully somebody can switch up the package sticker so they end up on another planet or something like that, so they don't have to come back. Because it doesn't even matter if it's on this planet or not. They're not going to pay taxes. We're not going to see anything out of that. So, yeah. You know what? Here's the true fact. I find it quite biblical that Bezos is the richest man in the world, and his biological dad is a circus performer. Yes. Aha. Now lift your jaw up. His biological dad was a unicyclist. And I say biological dad because guess how often that guy was in the picture? That's right. Normally, unicyclists don't do well in paying child support. Not really. It's clearly easy to say that homeboy was not around, which is why Jeff Bezos now has 175 fulfillment centers. Daddy issues? I think so. I think Jeff, though, he did solve a supply chain issue. Like, it's a huge issue, really. Supply chains are super important. If you don't believe me and you haven't been around for the last year to figure out what's happening, you can ask Hitler on his way to Moscow in 1941. How important, really, was gas and tanks? Hitler would be like, "Fuck, I ran out of gas. They didn't teach me that shit in art school. If only I had plastic bags to fill my gas with, I could probably drive these tanks all the way to Moscow." Yeah, imagine if he did that, all of us would be speaking German right now. That would have been fun. Obviously, outside of riding this bike and shooting some people with these bows by mistake, I've been watching YouTube commercials. Well, I've been watching YouTube, but all it shows me is commercials, which is kind of annoying. I don't know. The inner Jew in me says, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't pay you for my internet, minutes, so you can show me stupid commercials for that 5 seconds. I paid for those 5 seconds. You never asked me to put a fucking shitty commercial there. I can't complain to anybody. There's no rules. There's no, there's no FCC or whoever you had to call to get, a lewd commercial off the air, 20 years ago. Now there's no one to call. You get these stupid, shitty commercials. I got commercials for Nicorette, how hard it is to quit cigarettes. It's so hard. You should invest. I've never smoked a day in my life. What the fuck do I need this commercial for? Right? I get commercials for lawn care products, right? A fucking John Deere lawnmower. I live on the 7th floor in a studio apartment, guys. What am I going to do with a lawnmower? Who's it going to do good for? Like, seriously. I get commercials for dog food. Like, it will make your canine's teeth strong and white. I've been scared of dogs, guys, for 30 years. I don't need a dog with big, white, scary teeth. That's just my nightmares. I'm also disappointed from how the targeting of commercials is going. It's supposed to be targeted commercials. Don't you have all my information for all the shit that you stole from me? You should know by now all my wants and interests and perversions and stuff like that. Can't you make a better commercial that's targeted at me? You're giving me commercials for like old folks or women's makeup or what the hell? It used to be probably easier to make commercials, right? You'd have the Mad Men type dudes that would come up with, sexy, slick ads like buy this Cadillac and you can see this hot chick that's standing next to it. So you associate as a guy. See the Cadillac, see the hot chick? Well, if I get the Cadillac, I'd probably get the hot chick. That's an easy fix. Now it doesn't work like that. It's all about search engine optimization. Now it's basically the Google algorithm versus your website. What it comes down to is two dorks. One dork sits in one room and writes the algorithm for Google. We'll call him Dork Vader. And another dork in some other room writing the code for the website. And he has to write the code for the website in such a way that dork number one's code is going to like his code. And together they fucking make some kind of code baby or something like that. That's out of my reach. But basically, I don't like these dork wars. I don't like where they're going. And hopefully we'll get Revenge of the Simps soon. That's it. That's all I have.
Hey, an applause for that. Hey. I got some notes. I think I'll start first.
Let's do it.
Bike, I like that. I wish you would have talked more about it. Like
About which?
Your Mad Max bike you were talking about.
Okay.
The next thing you said was I bought a bow and arrow. It would be funny if you said I bought a mount on my bike, my Mad Max bike. I just thought you kind of could. I don't know. It just seems more ridiculous to me. But yeah, you were kind of jumping a bit to different topics. You weren't really staying on subject. You say something that was interesting, then you move on real quick. So some of those things, the Bezos stuff with the circus performer, you really missed the opportunity to say Bezos the clown. I was just waiting.
Oh,
Bezos the clown. It's like, oh man, I could have,
wow.
Yeah, the other thing too, you had a good joke. Hitler's gas and tanks. You said Hitler learned about gas and tanks. He also learned about tanks of gas. That's what you should have said after. It's just sorry, that's a little bit brutal.
Oh, wow.
Help people.
Oh, yes.
Also, when you're talking about the ads, I thought was pretty funny. Also, you're going about like I live on the 7th floor. What do I need this lawnmower ad? And I just instantly thought, well, maybe you need to make some money because they probably think you're Mexican or something just by your look. Probably trying to steer you. I've gone sideways, people. I'm sorry to go racist, but it's just the humor sometimes here. Anyways, here's a couple here. We got some people chiming in. Jeff Bezos' dad was a human pyramid scheme. That's pretty funny. As you go with more circus performer stuff from KD. Here's Jim here. Elner, I'm not sure if the room caught your fulfillment center joke, but I loved it. He says, I did catch it.
Thank you.
Next time they're coming out with Heroinettes, he said. Or something you said. Heroinettes?
Heroinette?
I'm not sure. And he said,
okay.
found this funny.
Yeah.
Thank you for chipping in very much. Andy, what'd you think?
Hold on, I'm looking up Heroinette because I don't know what the hell that is. My brother, first of all, I think we got to write together because I'm really curious about you. You bought a pandemic motorcycle and a bow and arrow. Yes. And where do you live?
I live on an apartment building, the 7th floor, a studio apartment.
What the hell is going on in Toronto? What kind of crazy Mad Max fucking end of the world shit is happening in Toronto that you had to fucking stack up for the apocalypse?
At the time, let's just say I got a tip on the pandemic early, so they told me shit's happening. I was gonna go buy a bike anyway, and I ended
What
up buying
shit is happening? Like, what shit is happening? And so you prepared for war there, which I love.
dude.
Um,
If I go over to my kitchen, I have stacks and stacks of jars with water. Because at the time I didn't know. Because when shit hits the fan, like we didn't know what the fuck was happening, right? I knew about this like late December, right?
Wait, you knew about it in late December of this year?
Well, obviously not. The 2019.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So it was like
Canada's always a little behind.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The exchange rate, right? The exchange rate on the time. Yeah. But so Jeff Bezos, he was your fulfillment center, right?
Yes.
And that was awesome. And then you had a joke tying Hitler into Moscow and about fulfillment centers in Moscow, and you were Russian, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and so Jeff Bezos prepared you for your war on COVID or the zombie apocalypse that you were preparing for, and then you had the Russian thing. So I fucking love the synergy of all of it. I thought your commercial bits that you had were great. I wanted one joke in there on like male sexual dysfunction or ED or something like that. Like one joke that's a little bit self-effacing because you're like, oh, I don't have a problem. Oh, I don't have, like, give me a problem. Give me like a Rogaine joke or something there. And then on Mr. Israeli Army. So I'm loving this because I work in IT. I don't know how to code, but I'm going to pretend I know how to code for this. So yeah, fuck you. Now we're here, right? So like you're two dorks preparing for war. That's what I do. So I may not be able to kick your ass or prepare for war, but I'm the fucking code monkey in the background. So, so we got it right because like a lot of our stuff is very complimentary.
Sure, you know how to reach me, obviously.
Yeah. No, I don't. I only bump into you on here. So we've done one of these together, and so
bro, just connect with me through the group. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, we'll talk online.
I think we found a friend here, folks. A real bond between two people. Creation was pretty much. I bought a bidet. That's what it.
I should have bought that.
It was the best idea I ever did. Yeah, I had to replace the toilet anyway, so there's no big deal. Brandon, what'd you film their stuff?
I loved it. I did, I did focus on the motorcycle as well, just because I guess that's where my brain went. But what I wanted to hear more was like he said maybe like you attach the bow to the bike or a crossbow, and so you could put it on the bike or something. But then explain how you turned your 7th floor apartment into like a bomb shelter. I mean, and that was kind of the thing that just got me was having the 7th floor. You got all this stuff ready for the apocalypse, but you live on the 7th floor of an apartment building. That's the only thing I kept thinking of was the whole bomb shelter in the 7th floor apartment. That's what killed me.
I'm dying to show you guys. I don't know if this will show. Do you see the air ducts up there that I taped up?
Yep.
Yep, they taped up because I didn't know, because I knew like the building has like a centralized air like AC system. Like I can smell my neighbors' smoke, so if I can smell them smoke, I can get the shit from them. So
that is your shit, man. Your fucking voice is just this paranoid Israeli army. I'm gonna die every time, so I got to prepare for the end times. That's your fucking voice. It's great.
And and like I said, the 7th floor, shelter
yep, 7th floor bunker. Yep.
And like, how hard it was to get the motorcycle up the stairs or something. I mean, it just.
You know what's really fucked up? In Toronto, the Israeli embassy is like a few blocks from me, and it is on the 7th floor, and it is practically a bunker.
There you go.
There we go.
And Al-Qaeda, you're from Russia. You were in the Israeli army, and you're talking about Jeff Bezos getting supply lines right for Hitler. What side are you on? Like Hitler invading Moscow? Like I'm very I want to know more about that because you've got lines on both sides. And it's really fucking interesting.
He's the Israeli Snowden. That's what he is.
And I do want to. I like the supply line with Hitler. One of the other shows I do is we talk about like conspiracy realist stuff, and that we've really been focusing on Nazis for like the last month, and that's just the supply line to Russia was a good one.
Cool. I'm glad you liked it.
Your joke on the 2 different types of gas was I couldn't do it. That's fucking good.
Yeah,
good,
the
good
gas
job.
was bomb. I'm definitely gonna take it.
From Jim, that is a no.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Bill Gates' fault you can't spell, but yeah, so Snickeret for heroin user. Heroin user.
Nicorette, like Nicorette. What do you say? I guess.
If that's a low amount of a sedative, though, why does it have to be for heroin users? Why can't we all get on that train?
Yeah.
Right? Just like a low amount of methadone right here just to keep us chilled throughout the day.
That's the Bonnie Lake.
I'm tripping out to it. Yeah, that's the Bonnie Lake in me.
Bonnie Lake coming. Get going on here, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, let's give another round of applause for Elner, everybody. Hey, Andy, I'm going to give you an intro this time, okay?
Okay.
Because that bastard Dan Brennan gave me shit one time about not giving good intros. Now I have to do the best I can every single time. So, listen, this next comedian, all the way from Bonnie Lake, probably the most on the show next to me and Brandon and Elner. Put your hands together for Andy, everybody.
Woo!
And I'm known for nothing, which is why no intro, but thank you for that. And I'm really looking at Jim and Katie and everybody else, because everybody else in this panel as old as fucking I am, and so no one can really sussy baka. Does anybody know what the hell that is? Because I didn't know what the hell that was, right? My kids were saying this to each other the past weekend. No one, like, I didn't know what they were talking about. I thought they were saying sexy baka, right? Like Chewbacca. And so I thought they were actually trying to help me write a comedy bit. And that wouldn't be unusual for my kids, right? And sexy baka, you could say that's a little bit, okay, that's maybe risque for kids, but I'm not one to restrict free speech. I know you're supposed to watch what your kids say, teach them not to swear and shit, right? I raise them with a rule, though, that it's not as much what you say. You just have to not be rude or disrespectful. You can say shit and fuck once in a while. Sorry for the one female we have out there. That's sexist. So Katie might swear more than we all fucking do. But I just want everybody treating each other with respect, right? I had to tailor that rule, though. I had a custody thing that's been going on recently. And Brandon, you're in Pierce County, King County. Holy fuck. Sorry again for my language. I'm an old military guy. Elner knows, do they swear as much in Israel? You know, COVID's been out there. I've gotten to work remote. It's been great. It's been a great experience. I have a 7-year-old with speech delay. He was 6 at the time, and I've really gotten to teach him how to speak. And that's been amazing because he couldn't speak at all when I first met him. And I've gotten to teach him how to say words, and those words turns into thoughts, and they turned into sentences. And he started out sounding like fucking Beaker, right? From the Muppets. Like, me, 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 me. Like, I didn't know what the fuck he was saying. And it sounded like every little kid has that high pitch, me, 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 dum-dee-dum-dee-doo. And that's all I heard. But to actually get to know him, I not only got to know him, but I got to see him become less frustrated because he learned how to communicate. And it's been really amazing most of the time, right? There are some times where he's been saying things that have caught my attention. Okay, working COVID, you go and he's got a brother and his brother's 10 and they'll be playing and me, 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 me. And that's all you hear in the background. And me, 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 I know sex. What the fuck did you just say? I'm sorry, what did you say? I know sex. I'd ask him what he knew about sex, right? I don't know a ton about sex. I was curious what my 6-year-old at the time knew about sex. Thankfully, he didn't know a lot about sex. Everything he knew from The Simpsons. Maybe I got to watch that a little bit. Okay. Another time he was playing, he likes the WWE. Does anybody like the WWE? The Macho Man, Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, brother, and things like that. He was in a game. Again, I'm not really paying attention. Fuck you, Andre the Giant. Okay, first of all, Andre the Giant, the most boring motherfucking wrestler that ever has walked the face of this earth. I don't know what he's done to get anybody to say that. And my 7-year-old was saying that. And I'm in the middle of this custody thing. I had to say, okay, for the next week or so, at least until this custody thing works out, no fuck yous, no sex, no none of this. Let's try to keep it rated PG. I said to my 7-year-old, okay, and you wonder why they want to take my kids away. But anyway, when I heard sexy baka, it kind of made sense to me because my kids can be a little risque. Okay. And the one impression I know how to do that they know is Chewbacca. And it's a useless impression, not good for anything except for I can whip it out of nowhere. Right. I've used it to coach like a little league team. That's all it's good for. So my 7-year-old, grab the nips, grab the mitts. This is what I was hearing. Okay. It works, I think, for the character. Why can't Chewbacca be sexy? He sounds sad, right? But there's some bass in the voice. He's tall, right? He's got some chest hair, but it appears to be soft, like something you can run your fingers through. And I'm just saying, somebody who finds Chewbacca sexy makes me a little less worried about the relationship he has with Han Solo, who always seems a little bit too frustrated at Chewie, and you never quite know why, right? No, Chewie, not that way. You put the wire into blah. Like, I don't know what they say in the start, but a little bit too frustrated, and not frustrated in the normal way, frustrated in a, hey, you're stealing too much of the covers at night, right? Frustrated in that I've got a relationship with this person. We're not talking about it. So we're arguing about the wire that he didn't hook up properly. Time, right? Sexy Chewbacca. There's a sexy Chewbacca. If somebody finds him out there, I know he's getting love. That makes me happier. A little bit less worried about Han Solo, right? They said it was coming from Among Us. That's a game that's out there. I don't know what that is. Keller, I'm a little bit like you. I'm having a hard time relating to my children. Sounded like Stranger Things to me, which is a little bit worrisome at 7 and 10, less worrisome than I guess The Simpsons or some of the sex talk. I feel less and less culturally relevant every day because I don't know what my kids are talking about. And I guess this is a story about that, right? So Sussy Baka, there's the floss. Anybody know what the floss is?
Yeah.
Yeah, the floss, the dancing thing. I kind of like trolling my kids because the 10-year-old tried to teach me, and the floss is actually out now for all of you old people like me. Nobody's doing the floss anymore, and that's what my 10-year-old tells me, but I still like screwing with a 7-year-old because he's like, no, dad, you shake your hips like this, and then he gets all frustrated when I'm too white to actually learn what he's doing, right? But whatever it is, whatever I don't know how to do, at least they know that they got to spend that time with their dad. And at least they have that memory, and it makes them laugh a little bit. And Sussy Baka is sexy Baka, which actually means sinisterful in Japanese. And that's a whole other story. My kids, though, they get that memory. I love them. And you get that memory out there because every time that you hear, now, grab the nips, that image implanted on your brain. And for that, I'm happy. Thank you, guys. That's my time.
Hey, Andy, everybody. Brandon, why don't you start this time?
Oh, I loved it. I liked all the Star Wars references for us. I would say as older nerds, but now it's becoming more and more with the newer, wonderful movies they came out with, because they're just amazing. But yeah, so we all know who Chewie is. We know Chewbacca. So that's good. And the one thing you said about being in Pierce County, yeah, I'm in Pierce County, but my first child was in King County, and I know what you mean by the child support stuff. So if you have a penis in King County, you're the bad guy. Yeah, it was really good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I like the way you it's almost like a rant, but there was more pauses, like Elner said, and from your first set, there was more pauses that kind of gave us a chance to be like, oh, okay, and really relate to it, and then you'd hit us again. So, and I like that. I like the way you keep that going in your timing.
Yeah. Oh, Elner, why don't you go first? How about that?
Cool. So, first of all, I didn't like how you assumed Katie's gender. So
That's true. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I'm old, so this is all learning for me.
I know. I'm just joking. So your child learned how to speak properly, which is great. But now he hates me and he bullies me, and you can come up with he actually articulately, really nicely, just bullies me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're mentioning that you just used it to coach the Little League, and now a Little League team, and now they all have chest on their hair. Or hair on their chest. I guess chest on their hair. Chest on their hair is even better. Sorry. It's late and I have chest on my hair. What else did I have here? sexy Chewbacca porn. Actually, I wrote down sexy Chewbacca porn, but I think South Park did something like this. Then yeah, I saw Brandon also perk up to this because you mentioned it had like a sinister Japanese meaning.
Yeah, Sinister Full.
Sinister full.
Yeah.
I would want you to go more into it.
Yeah.
I think that's something that right away because it got our
A
attention.
lot of backstory with Japanese, like so that I'm still kind of trying to work out.
You can jump back into like Chewbacca anime and all this kind of shit.
Yeah, my first kid's Japanese.
Oh wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I remember my mother-in-law always saying that, "Bucket, bucket, bucket," and so like I know the fuck, and so when I heard it, it's like, fuck it. So it's all full circle for me.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Cool. Are you done, Elders?
Yep, I'm done.
Awesome. Yeah. I had some things too. I didn't know what you meant by sussy back. I think you said sussy backoid for a while, and I was like, "What the hell is he saying?" I had to wait for it. So the sexy baka, it reminded me right away of the first impression. I just thought of Zohan or whatever it is. Disco, good guy. It's a sexy baka. Good. It just sounds like it'd be in that involved there.
Nice.
But yeah, I loved your storytelling. Great story all through. It was pretty good. I liked how you kept the rhythm going, and I did like how you slowed it down compared to the first set. It was a lot better. It was easier manageable in a lot of times, so I really enjoyed it. I liked it was all your experiences, so that's great. You can't get tags on that. The thing about sexy baka. Anybody be into sexy baka would probably be probably the opposite person would find you sexy. That's that's the thing. Like if you're not tall, you're not hairy, you're exactly the opposite. So,
that's good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like good self-defeating sort of thing,
Yeah.
We got some stuff in here from other people. I got to get here. I'll just read some of it here by you guys. From Jim here again. Chewbacca can't get hard. That's why Hans calls him Chewy. Funny. Sounds like it should be on meme, but it's great. KD says, I'm still saying faux shizzle. Wait, isn't that faux shizzle? But yeah, I mean, that's funny. And KD is maybe because I'm Canadian. That's what she is. So there we go. But yeah, she did comment up there about her swearing in her set. You've seen my set. She swears a lot. So she was
Okay, good. So I don't feel it.
Yeah, well, I think you did a great job. So way to go. So let's give a round of applause for Andy, everybody. Okay, so our next comedian, we're gonna move right into it. It's probably my best friend. We've known each other since we're 4. We've had a bath together. That's how much I know this guy. Put your hands together for Brandon Valentine, everybody.
Woo.
Oh, how we doing? So, over COVID, in the last year, I've done what a lot of people didn't. I ended up losing a bunch of weight. I lost about 100 pounds over the year. I did hit a point though where I had to gain some back because one of my bosses asked if I had cancer, and I was like, that's probably the best compliment I've ever gotten in my life. But yeah, so I had to gain a little back. But losing the weight is always interesting because when you do as a comedian. I'm a very self-depreciating comedian, so I write a lot of jokes, and there were a lot of them about how I was fat, and they just don't work when you're skinny. Like I had this great joke about how this is what Thor would look like if he had a spoon instead of a hammer, and I'm like, yeah, maybe if you use that spoon to smoke crack, but I mean, it doesn't quite work anymore. So yeah, it just there was a lot of them, and then but losing the weight, the other thing you get is everyone always asks you why. Why did you lose the weight? And everyone's got their reasons, family, health, poverty. I mean, there's always something. For me, it was I pulled the muscle wiping my own ass. And I mean, it was probably one of those most embarrassing things, you're you twisting, and there's a lot of mass to twist, and it just something happened. And now all of a sudden, you've got things that you're trying to figure out. You're sitting on the toilet now with a poopy butthole, and you still can't get it because you pulled that muscle. So you're trying to figure out how to fix that problem. And you're like, well, I could ask the wife for help, but I'm really sure that's not, that's not in the wedding vows. I mean, sickness and health, but nothing about wiping my ass because I got too fat to do it myself. So, I'm pretty sure if I asked, it'd be like, here, you can wipe with the divorce papers. Here you go. So that wasn't happening. So that time I decided to take a shower. But I couldn't take a shower every time I pooped. I was fat. I ate a lot, so I pooped a lot. So I couldn't do that. So I decided to get a bidet. But I'm cheap, so I didn't get the expensive bidet with the dryer. So now, I might have a clean butthole, but it's a wet butthole. And now I've got this little damp spot. So I'm trying to figure that out. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just use a hairdryer. So now I'm in the bathroom trying to do like hairdryer yoga. Got my foot up on the counter, trying to get that thing in the right spot. Have you ever smelled burnt taint? It's not a great smell. It really isn't. I mean, anybody from Tacoma, it's like Tacoma on a hot day. I mean, it's not good. It's not a good smell at all. So yeah, that did not work for me. So eventually I just started running away from people, so I didn't have to explain why my butt was wet, and that's really how I lost the weight. It just kind of all melted off after a while. I still use the bidet though, and I've still got a wet butthole, but whatever. We'll fix that eventually. It is interesting though when you go to a public restroom and try and explain why you have a super soaker. So they kind of look at you funny with the super soaker. Yeah, it's very interesting. And I did figure out too, you can't outrun ugly. I tried. Didn't work. Did not work at all. Now on to a whole nother subject. Let's talk, you mentioned kids earlier. I have a few kids of my own, and that's one thing I've always wondered with kids is, you always get people who don't have kids. They tell you that you should treat all your kids the exact same, right? Well, you can't. They're different. Every kid's a little different. You have to treat them a little differently. For example, my oldest came to me a few years ago, said he wanted to go to homecoming. I'm like, no, fuck no. I remember what I did at homecoming because you're always more protective of that oldest one. I remember what I did. I drank, I did drugs, I had sex. Then I had to go pick up my date. Not things I want my kid involved in. But then a few years later, you get to like the fourth kid. Hey, Dad, can I go to homecoming? Sure, here's $100. Bring some blowback for Dad. I was the youngest of 6. I asked my dad, hey, can I go to homecoming? He just looked at me and said, who the fuck are you? So, I mean, it's just like, it changes with the kids. All right, that's my time.
Hey!
Great job. Great job.
I'd like if you said that, who the fuck are you? And you would just went further. Who the fuck are you? And just like, I just got to throw something like he's, anyways, that's what I thought. I'll let somebody else go. Andy, what do you think? How about you go first this time?
So wet butthole. I bought my bidet on Groupon, and so I'm wondering if it's that one because it was $24.99. I've got irritable bowel syndrome, so I always kind of have a wet butthole. So at least yours is clean. I love this room. We do the whole comedy writer room. Because we get complimentary kind of funny people in the same group, and fucking $100. Here's $100. Brings them back for Dad. First of all, my 10-year-old kind of an asshole, so I get that you got to treat the kids differently. But the $100 brings some blowback for Dad. I want to be you in a few years. I love getting a different viewpoint in the room because that's just, and cannot run ugly. I think we all kind of know what that feels like a little bit, except for Katie out there. I'm sure you're gorgeous. But very, very fucking good, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Elner, what do you think?
I loved everything. It was hilarious. It was really, really hilarious. I wanted you to have a makeshift bidet that you made yourself and just try to figure out how to make one with like a garden hose or stuff like that.
Oh, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, if you want to go in there, you can go in there. And then the blow dryer. When you said, like, have you ever felt, my mind went, hot ass wind? No.
Well, what's funny too is when I do it on stage, because I've tried a couple times on stage now, that joke, and usually I'll make sure there's a stool. So when I'm doing it, I'll literally kick my leg up on the stool and start like I'm trying to do like air dry my butthole and just
get the whiff and stuff.
I acted out. What was funny is the first time I did it, Kevin, it was actually the host of the show, and I kicked the bucket full of all the like wipes that he was using to wipe down the microphone off the stand, and then just left it and walked off stage.
Hilarious. Hilarious. You can also point it at the people in the front of the crowd and be like, hey, can
can you smell that? Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? Oh.
Yeah, Jim cut in there too. He's like, burnt taint is great. He likes that. So,
Yeah.
I vowed to wipe my husband's ass. Is that not a standard wedding vows? Yeah. You have
No,
to
that's-
put it up.
I
you
think
have to
it's
add that in personally, and I didn't do it. So
I'll be finding a new wife.
have to opt in at the box. It's box 31.
The good thing I'm finding is if you don't get the wedding vows right, you can try like 5 more fucking times, and so it just keeps going.
Yeah, it's a common thing down in the States for some reason. Oh no, did I lose you?
where'd you know? We can hear
lost
you. We just can't. There you go.
Oh, you know what? I put something down on my keyboard and it screwed it all up. That's what happened. So,
Okay.
no, yeah. So, the one thing I liked about you had a better punchline than I came up with, but your boss asked you if you had cancer, and you said the best compliment ever. I went straight to like, oh, he's gonna give me some free time off. I don't know. There's some kind of medical joke in there, like you could squeeze in or a riff. But yeah, I've been off for like 6 months. I think I'm in chemo. I don't know if that's new, but
Yeah.
my mind went there. Something for you. The pulled muscle. I like to think I'm ambidextrous because I broke my hand when I was a kid, so I can wipe with both hands. But I have been there where you pull one side, you're like, oh shit. I've lost a lot of weight too, just so you guys know.
Yeah, but then once you turn the other way, because I'm ambidextrous too, then all of a sudden you just pull the other side. So
Yeah. Elner beat me to it in a way. I was thinking about bidet too, like a Bonnie Lake bidet would be like a sprinkler you just put inside the bathroom. One of those pictures, the ones like anyways. I just thought made me think about it, but yeah, you can pretty say that as the Tacoma thing. I don't know, figure that out, but it might be fun for some areas. But yeah,
And the Tacoma smell joke. If anybody who doesn't live there, that's so fucking like it brings the smell right to your nostrils. So
Yeah.
that's great.
I use that when I do the Tacoma Comedy Club when I'm down there, and when
Yeah,
Nate Jackson's, I use the Tacoma reference every time when I'm there. So
yeah.
it's awesome. Yeah, I don't have any more input, but great job. Really was
Yeah.
fun. So yeah, another round of applause for Brad Valentine. Everybody. Hey, we stuck out. We've had 2 people sticking out the whole way. Thank you so much.
Woo.
And
thank you, Jim and Katie.
Thank you, Jim and Katie.
Thank you, Jim and Katie.
Sticking around. So this is the end of the show where we get to give our salutations. Everything else. Elner, where can we find you next little while? Do you have social media? You don't have YouTube. I know that now.
I don't have fuck all. I have Facebook, but I don't post anything funny there. I will be at the workshop until maybe Toronto clubs open up, and then I'll do open mics here.
Yeah.
Yay.
He has a plastic thing over his vents. That's
Yes.
He's bunkered
Yes.
down.
I talk to my vents. I perform for my neighbors through the bathroom vent.
and they smoke back into it. Andy, where can we find you next little while?
Tomorrow I'm going to be on a show with Second City, which is where I'm coming out of. On Wednesday, I'm the expert on a comedy podcast about narcissism, which you thought inevitable is hard. Try joking about that. What the fuck? And then I'm trying to find open mics around this area. So Brandon, if we can chat, I did the Tacoma Comedy Club last Wednesday, but it's kind of hard finding places to go around here.
Yeah, we can stick around.
Up you.
Yeah.
When we close, you guys can stick around and we can talk still if you like, whatever it is. That's awesome, Andy. Nice to, have you been doing comedy very long? I never asked.
No, about 4 months.
Okay, you're an improv guy though.
Yeah, I started on improv. Yeah.
Cool. Brandon, where can we find you, my friend?
I don't know. It's this month. I'm at Tacoma Comedy Club one night. I don't remember which one. I think the 14th, and then I'm hosting Nate Jackson's super funny comedy show down in Tacoma on the 28th, I think. So, which will be fun. I do host a show out in Enumclaw that is Wednesday night. So I produce it. I'm performing next month, but not this month. But yeah. But other than that, I've got a couple of different podcasts. Renerders podcast, which I've been doing for about 5 years now. Love and Hate Radio, I do with my 19-year-old kid. We actually have a studio built in the house that we use, which he's in all the time. That's why I can't use it for this. And then and then I do another one that's a conspiracy realist podcast. It's actually a radio show that's on NWCZ Radio. But you can find me on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook that much. It's more Instagram, Mr_B_666, like my name there. So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well, my name is Tyler Reed, everybody. You can find me kind of laying low. I've been. We just opened up. I've done a couple shows. I do have a show Wednesday in Vancouver. Awesome comedy. It's the I'm sorry, it's for sure the Bomb Shelter. It's a lot of fun. Excited. Actually, I say actually a lot for some reason right now. Yeah, I'm going on vacation. I'm having a good time being by myself and doing the workshop every Monday. That's where you can find me every Monday here, doing jokes, trying it up, getting these great comedians that join us all the time. And if you want to be on this show, it's easy to get on here. Just join the Facebook group, make a real account, not like Elner, make a real account, like Elner, and you join up and you just pick shows and they offer it up and you jump on and you get a random topic. It's a lot of fun. As you see, we had a great time. Thank you all for being out here and watching us. Thanks for you guys for participating. It was a lot of fun. And thank you so much. So let's everybody wave goodbye.